Good morning, everybody. My name's Keegan. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we got the motor fully in the Subaru. She runs wonderfully. You know, started right up. Biggest issue was the battery. Got a new one. Shout out to Cisco. And really just got to make some mounts for the radiator. I was going to kind of have it detached, but there's no need. And if I can't get a motor in with this much space, there's a bigger issue. We got the seats fitted up in the car. And today I'm going to finish up kind of making the mounts, the grommets to the floor. The original wagon kind of had a hump back here, right in that area. So I ended up cutting that out, but I can only go so far down because there's the rear subframe kind of main bar ends up going right across that big line. So still want to keep them together. We'll get that seam sealed and kind of sealed back up. But the seats, I know it's a bit lower. I know on the older WRX, kind of the rally cars, they have the seats damn near in the floor, kind of to lower the center of gravity on the lifted cars. But I'm pretty happy with it, and honestly, I can keep the pedals in the same spot. I was gonna make like an extension right there and have the seat up on the rear part of where the wagon back seats were, but just that cage was way too, there was no safe way of having a head right there. And you know, this car will probably be street driven. I understand it's unsafe for a cage to be in it, but you know, you got to get there somehow. And really, we're gonna be adding another probably kind of reinforcement bar right here. We're gonna do some bracing kind of to the Z chassis today, and I'm gonna hopefully have these seats officially in, you know, being able to be bolted in, and a drive shaft hopefully Wednesday to be driving. Only issue really right now is I don't have a way to refill the vehicle with gas. We're gonna work on that. But in terms of dash lights, the only ones that are on is for the old wagon doors, so we can either make a little box or tape them up, but there's no other check engine lights or anything. And yeah, just a little update, and we're gonna get going on these braces. After a small fortune on hardware, I managed to find these little rubber grommets. Took a step up bit, went through the top and the bottoms, and I can fit these nuts in there pretty good. So I did the top, so in case there's any overlap for this flathead. And then these will be on the top of the seats, kind of going down, but also got these seat covers, so you shouldn't feel anything. If we do, then we'll readdress it. But plan is to put this down kind of flat on the kind of the pilot holes I've done. That one right there, that one right there. So we'll weld around that, and then we'll also do kind of a square sheet around it and then a square sheet on the bottom. Just that way I know it's secure and everything. And these seats are pretty heavy duty, surprisingly, to be plastic. I was gonna go with Kirkis, but they seemed a little bit too tall because I was originally gonna have them up on that rear hump, but these seem pretty good, and I wanted something that was easy to wash off because it's going to be a mess. But we'll go ahead and get these all seated up and welded in and see how they look. Geez, starting to look a little official. I'm happy with these seat covers, but the fitment is kind of trash. They were like $30 for the seats and then another $30 for the covers on jegs. You know, how can you say no? So you know, I'm happy with the cover. You know, it covers the mounts that we made right there and there pretty well. I don't think they'll be able to be felt, but if anything, we can put like a cushion right here. That mount up here will also be covered. But this material, there's a button here, but there's no buttons on the seats. But I know for a fact these are the seats they're meant for. Just kind of strange. We'll see if there's a way to kind of give it some pull, some tug, without ripping it. Like, I don't want to rip it at the seam or anything. But the seats are in. I'm pretty happy with them. And a view from kind of just like the front. Just make sure they're not leaning too far apart. It's looking pretty symmetrical. Pretty happy with them. One more step. Got lights on with these doors. You know, the door switch is still open. But I figured I'd prove that she runs. I'm not sure how well it'll be able to be heard because the exhaust is cat back just cut off, but we can, you know, show off a little bit. I think there's a clutch safety switch. Make sure she's in neutral, and then take the key, put it in. The only light we have is that door light and the seat belt, and the e-brake is actually working, but it's down, so we'll address that one as well. got a few lights on, and there actually is a check engine light. I lied, but I don't know. I should be able to read these codes and kind of see what it is. If anything, I should be able to clear the code as well. And that's really it. I will tune in again once we've made a bit more progress, and thanks for watching a quick little update.